In this episode, we rejig the central hub and we actually start building it. Stay tuned. Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. In the last episode, we started planning out this central distribution facility. And to be honest, I'm actually glad this was broken up into two episodes because there's something that I think we need to change before we get too far along the line. Using multiple railway stations will, in the end, probably be a little bit more problematic. And so that means you'll have to assign trains to one or the other, and they won't necessarily, and you'll have to plan out what kind of goods you have in the various areas. And so that is something I'm not too keen on. It's got 6 lines, and if we just use enough space for a little bit of queuing, I think we'll be good with just the one. And the added benefit, of course, of using just the one is that things will be a little easier to manage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to very quickly redo this. So let's quickly let's quickly demolish these guys. Is there I wonder if there's a tool in which you can do it a little quicker, but I don't necessarily think you can. So I'll just have to quickly demolish these guys, and I'll show you what I'm gonna do. And there's another thing that I've also missed with it is we don't have any meat facilities connected, meat storage facilities connected to it. So that's something I also want to make sure we include. So let's just quickly get rid of all of these, and then we'll redo it very quickly. And I'll show you what the intent would be. So we're going to still use at least 9 plus a meat storage, which is a pretty tall order to say the least. Okay, so with that in mind, now we should be able to just quickly get rid of all of these guys. Is there a quicker way? Can I use this and get rid of it? Yeah, that's a little quicker. Okay. Yeah, that works quickly if you're just trying to get rid of everything. And okay, so there we go. That's it. Let's restart that. Okay, so the intent would be that we're going to go with the cargo station. I'm going to go with the 6-line cargo train station. I want the road to come. Well, it really doesn't matter all that much. We're going to need the road on both sides. It really doesn't matter which side you do it. But anyway, let's yeah, either way, it's really going to be not going to make any difference. So let's try this in here. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that we've got enough room from this side to queue. So I think that's going to be just fine. So somewhere along this area, and I do want to make sure that we can actually do the rotation, and I'm thinking we don't want to get too close to this, so probably a little bit more central where we had it, maybe a little something like that. There we go. So that's the one. We're not auto building it or anything like that. Now if we go to storages, I'm going to go with use that exact same one, this super long one, but I've decided to maybe do it slightly differently. If we spin them around, we could in fact do something like this. So what I thought we'll connect that one, and then we spin it around and we connect this one, and that means the guys that's going to go to the back will be pretty straightforward. So something like that, that's going to be the plan. So we'll do that, and we'll see about squeezing a road in there, and then I'm also going to go back to back with these guys. So see, now we don't need the road spot there, so we can just effectively squeeze it in over here. And I think that's about right. That will be connected, and we'll see about the other one. But at least this gets us very tight now. This gets us a very tight footprint, and potentially gives us the ability to squeeze in one more. Now let's just make sure we kind of have it about right over here somewhere. See, they're very tight together. And now we can, in fact, squeeze an extra one in here, I believe. We'll just have to make... we may have to squeeze it up a little in the hope. Yes, that'll work. There we go. So if... There we go. Now we've got a full 5 on the one side. Let me quickly see about the road connection. So if I would... Obviously, the road connection needs to be a little bit more this side. And then a little bit more on that side in order to really tie in. So if I do this, we can tie in over here. We should be able to do that and tie in... Well, we should be able to get it to work anyway. Just bring that out a little bit more. Something like that. Now, similarly, what I wouldn't mind is... Ooh, yeah, that's actually quite nice if we can get that to work. And we, of course, want to run this one a little bit further away. Something like that. We'll tie this one in there. And there we go. So that actually works quite well. We can squeeze an extra one in here. Plus... we should be able to get our meat storage in place. So let's quickly grab the meat storage and then we'll do the other side. And this is going to be a better way of doing it. I think it might also end up looking slightly nicer. Let's go back to storage and I'm after the meat storage. So that's only 350 tons. So the question to me always is, do we do just the one? Do we do multiples? So it seems like, okay, so if we wanted to do one here, I believe we should be able to make that work. Alternatively, we can still do a little something like this, and we could possibly squeeze a second one in here. If we do, I think that'll work. So if we just do something like that, and we also then, just want to make sure that we... That might, in the end, not actually work unless we find a connection somewhere over here. Actually, it could work. It could work. It could work. Actually, not that way around. But getting it even as close as this should be able to. So we could potentially do 2 meat storages. Do we want to connect them together, though? I think we may want to connect them together. So let's see about something like this. There we go. If we do something like that, I think it could work and we could have a dual connection. Now, let me just see if I can get this thing to work. I can, in fact, get that one to work. But before we do that, probably don't want to do it this way. Probably want to do it slightly better. So if we do this connection down there, and then we'll run that one up there. That's the one that I'm after. And now I'm also, well, I'm going to trim it back, and we're going to see about bit more like this, and then we'll do something like this. So something like that is connected. Now we'll find a connection up here and we'll get them all connected. Probably we're going to just straighten that one up and do all of that. So now let's do the other side. Before we do that, though, let's quickly reconnect these guys. I think this is going to be ultimately a much better arrangement. These are all connected. I need to connect these guys. That's it. There we go. I can't. Oh crap. Oh crap. This doesn't actually work this way, does it? Good I've checked. Good I checked. Oh man. There's always a little thing that you get wrong, doesn't it? So that doesn't actually work. So let's clear this back out and get rid of these guys also. Okay, so we need a connection in here, and then be able to get out that way. So now what are we going to do with this? Let's redo these two and see. We may not get away with two of them, so we'll have to see how that all works. Let's try that one more time. Meat storage, please. Okay, now coming at it from this angle. Yeah, I think we will get it to work. We will get it to work. We're just not going to use the same road as we've used for the for that other guy. I think this is okay. That's pretty close by. And then what I'm also keen on doing is getting a connection between the two of them. So it'll have to be a little something like this. I think that would work. Yeah, that should work. Now let's go back. Luckily we checked. Would have been a bit of a disaster. Okay, so we'll tie that together. We'll tie these two together. Awesome, that works. Now we just need to get our road connections in here, and that's going to be work a charm. So we'll run that one up there. At the same time, also going to want to do a little something like this. We'll tie that one in here, and we'll just tie that like so. That should be fine. There we go. So let's not pay for it, but let's commission all of that. Let's go ahead and commission all of these guys also. Now that's the one side of it. That gives us 5 plus 2 meat storages. So we are well and truly underway. Now we only actually need 4 on the other side now, because we've got our 9 if we get the other 4. But we may do an extra 1, and then we'll just do double ups or something. So if we need like more food or something like that, which is kind of what I'm expecting we will need. So if we wanted to, in order to, oh, and the other thing we could also do is we could also actually do it on a bit of an angle. Just for a little bit of flavor. So let's get this thing about as far as it'll go. Yeah, something like that. But let's put that in place. Let's disconnect this guy. Now the plan is that we would like to. That'll work. I like it. I like it. We may not be able to squeeze in all 5, but it should be fine. But what we can, of course, do is bring this guy quite close now. We should be able to get it to connect. Yeah, well, let's leave a little bit of room. We'll get that one in place, and we'll get the other one. I think this is going to look a little bit more interesting, but I do like it. I think we're doing a pretty decent job at it. Yeah, I think that's okay. And now the question is, do we do an extra 1? We should certainly be able to squeeze in one more. We'll certainly be able to squeeze in one more, and we can interconnect them if we wanted to. So let's do that. Now, interconnectivity will be possible with some of these. These two we can interconnect, those two we can interconnect. That a little far away. Let me redo that one quickly. I'm being a little bit pedantic, but I just want to make sure that it looks pretty good. I've spent too much time doing stuff that doesn't quite look. So that has to be at about this angle, and that'll work. So that should get us, yeah, close enough. That's fine. That's going to be awesome. Now let's quickly get them all connected, and then we can actually start work on the rails, and then start the construction of this. This is going to be a pretty substantial project to do. That doesn't want to work, so this one has to go in here. That one will go in there. We can get this one in here, and that one over there. Then we can do interconnections over here, and we can do interconnections over there. So we can do these as interconnections. We could potentially do these. Nah, that's not going to work. Anyway, so if we wanted to interconnect and do two huge ones, I think it's probably going to be these guys. So let's go crazy and do that. Actually, it's not a bad idea. Now let's make sure we get our road connections in place here. It does leave us with a little bit more room. And I like that. Ooh, that's pretty tight. I'm glad it actually works, because otherwise we would have been screwed. Oops. Yeah, I'm glad. Well, we may have to bring it forward a little bit, because that's pretty tight. Whew, luckily it works. That was pretty close. Now, what I'm keen on doing is maybe just running this one out this way. And I'm keen on getting some kind of a connection through the back there. So let's run it slightly more forward. And we may actually run it, because I was contemplating a road connection through here as well. Okay, so that's kind of the starting point for us. So what I'll do is I'll probably do a little road up here, and we'll connect it up there, something like so. And we'll see if that is how we're gonna keep it. So there we go. Now we should be able to do a little bit better. That's a little awkward, but anyway, that's the thing. Now, getting out of here, I want to do a one-way loop. So it's going to be a one-way loop into this direction. It's going to feed in on these guys. So what I just want to make sure we do is I'm going to trim back this one. A fair bit. Maybe all the way over there. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now let's get a rail connection. Now we can probably tie them to this side. So we'll give ourselves a little bit more room. And I'm going to try and... Can I smooth this a little bit before we do that? I don't think it's smoothing any more than that, though. It's not bad. Excellent. It is quite close, though. Let's get that one. Okay, so we've tried to smooth it out as best we can, and that should be okay. Now, I don't want ages of stuff going through here. I'd rather do something like this, and then I want to connect it pretty aggressively in there. To be honest, we may do two lines out of this, though. Instead of the one, do two lines. I'm kind of tempted to do the two lines, though. But if we do the two lines, how would we do it? Three... Yeah, to be honest, let's do this. Let's get it all up to about that spot. And now I'm going to tie this one in. And now how can I... Yeah, I think ultimately that's probably going to be good. That's a fairly good tie-in over there. I'm going to bring... Let's switch off the snapping and try and straighten it up a little bit. Well, alternatively, switch the snapping back on, get it snapped there, and bring these guys in a little closer. Do something like this. There we go. And then presumably we'll be able to do something like that. I think that's good. That's good. And that gives us two tracks out of here. So this is the departure side, so we don't need a lot of storage. Where we need the storage is on the other side. So that's really the thing. What we want to make sure of is that we do in fact have room for signals, but I think this is going to be fine. So we'll just do some signals in here. And what we'll do is we'll do signals downstream of our merges. So something like that. There we go. So that's the That's the mode of operation on that side. Let's so what I wanted to do on this side is provide a fair bit of space. So I'm not sure what our longest train is. Let's have a look at what our longest train is. So if I go trains, all map please, and I believe we can have a look at the length. So here we've got to look at the length. So the longest train we have is 143 meters. So we just want to make sure that we've got at least a room for that. We might do a little bit longer. So maybe 200 meters is kind of what we're after. 250. Yeah, let's do 250 as a starting point because we would like... And you know what? We'll probably do one of them on that side. So let's go up to about 200 meters and then we'll tie that in. And we should get some stuff. So let's tie that one in. Turn is too sharp, so we'll what we'll do is we'll trim it a little bit back. And now it should work. Now, the question I have in my mind is, can we make this work around here? Undo that, go around here, and can we get our extra queuing on this side? And you know, presumably, I'm gonna redo it. Presumably we'll have to queue to both directions. We'll have to start in the middle and queue into both directions. I think that's the case. So I want at least 2 trains to be able to store into each one of these. That's the plan. That's why I'm trying to do this. And I want them to store in parallel, not in series, so that it's more intelligent. So in parallel means that they'll store next to each other, so they'll go in at an appropriate time. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with these guys, the center guys. Let's just zoom out a little bit. I'm going to go up to maybe a little further away. Maybe we're going to do about the 280 mark, something like that. And I'm going to do the other one. Okay, yes. Now what we'll do is we'll start queuing from the outside. And we'll get to about 200 meters approximately, and we'll get that one in there. We'll get that one out there, 200 meters. Now it's going to start getting interesting because we're going to go up to about there. Okay, up here, up there, and over there. Now we need the queuing space. If we do up to there, I don't think we'll be able to actually tie it in unless we go back further. Okay, yeah, I think that's going to be the plan. We're going to bring this guy back, and what we'll do is we'll bring all of these back a little bit more. And we'll get an extra 100 meters on it. I think that's going to be sufficient. If we get an extra 100 meters on it, we should be able to get... No, don't do that. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. There we go. If you pull it past it, just a little bit, it actually does. It's connected adjacent to it. If we do something like that, now we should be able to tie in on this side. Okay, can I clean that up a little bit? I want to make sure that it's a pretty tight connection through here. So if we do out on this one, as tight as we can get it, and we'll run it straight through. Now we've only got we've only got the one left. So if can I go now? Let's pack them in pretty tightly. There we go. All the way up there. Excellent. I like it. I like it. It's looking good. It's a pretty good parallel storage system, and it's probably overkill, I think. Regardless of whether it's overkill or not, let's start it from the other side though. So once we've figured out where we're going to flare out from, let's flare out. Similarly, we'll flare out from here. Something like that. And now, what's the length of this guy? Yes, that's beautiful. That's properly connected. Good. Now so that's our queuing area, and hopefully that means we'll be all good. So what I want to make sure we do is have enough room to come and tie in over here, plus get a feedback loop to come on in this way. So now we just need to make sure that we're in fact also tying back out. So let's extend these guys, center ones, and we'll be flaring out from the center. But we can do so pretty aggressively. So if we can make that work, I do wonder if that will in fact work. Let's bring it back just a tad, not too aggressively. And what I'm after is something like this. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. That's maybe not going to work. But what will work is we'll be able to do this. It's okay, and we'll have a bit of extra storage right over there. So it looks a little weird on this side, but I think it's going to be fine. Similarly, we'll do exactly the same on that side. Let's find our connections. There we go. Something like that, and we'll do something like this. There we go. Oh, it works pretty nicely actually, and that doesn't look too bad at all. So that's basically our queuing facility to get into here, and then we get the guys to come on out pretty quickly and aggressively. Now, what I'm keen on doing is we'll need both of these to kind of track into this general direction. Okay. Now, the things that I'm after though is I'll probably provide a road connection somewhere over here. So before we go too far, I'm going to trim this back to there, and we're going to quickly trench a little section here for the road. And it might just be a little, yeah, that's fine. We'll just do a little section of trench over here. So if we try and make it as narrow as possible, and I'm going to okay, so with that in mind, okay, now I'm going to try and smooth it. And now I'm going to try and put the road down there. Okay, and what I'm keen on understanding is that deep enough? Nah, that's not deep enough. I'll have to redo that. So let's quickly redo that. And what I'll do is I'll do some train bridges across it. That's the plan. I think that's going to look pretty cool. I'm thought about doing it through here, but I think it's too much, to be honest. If just the two lines there is probably going to be just okay. So let's level from the center over here as a starting point. Okay. Yeah, actually that's a pretty good maneuver. Now what I'll do is I'll slowly dig it down just a little bit more. Doesn't actually want to go down anymore with that in mind. Now what I'm quickly going to do is try and see if we do this. That's about exactly what I'm after, right? I've done it fairly low. Yeah, but not quite low enough. So what I may have to do is I may have to actually build it up alongside here just a tad to get these guys across. Something like this. Okay, so if that's the case, can we in fact get the rail bridge across? I'm thinking it's going to just be this guy. Okay, let's bring it forward a little bit. That's about the top of the height there. So we'll do that. And now, shall we do I don't know, wondering which one of these we should do. The curved one is obviously going to be, there we go. Okay, how does that work? I don't mind it. It's not the most brilliant, but I don't mind it. I think that works really well. I think that's actually quite good. And we'll see about how we use the rest of that. So now straighten this guy up again. And as a starting point, we would like to tie this one in over there. Okay, we're going to run this a little bit further away so that we can, in fact, have room to now maybe switch on over. Well, we can run it a little further, and then the idea was that we're actually going to go around here. The one thing I just need to double check is we've probably got a road connection here that I need to deal with. Okay, so what we'll do is let's get this road connection out. Straighten that up a little bit over there, and we'll deal with that. That's good. Luckily, we've had a quick look at that. Now let's try that one more time. We'll get it as tight, as easy as possible, an easier curve as possible. We'll run that through there. Now that's the alternate is we bring it a little closer and we can have actually a switch over. It's probably the right thing to do, just to make sure that if we in fact have something parked in there, which I doubt we will, right? Okay, so what we'll need to do is we'll need to bring out this probably about that much so that we can do a bit of a switch over in here, and then we'll want to try and do we do something like this instead. Yeah, that's fine. So now we can in fact do the switch over before you get in there. There's a little bit more room over here, and that ties in quite nicely. So now these guys can in fact loop around and come back. Now coming out of here, we want to turn out actually that's actually good. So that's the loop. And now what I'm thinking is we actually run it back over here. So we don't necessarily rejoin that guy. So let's get it up here somewhere. Straighten that up. Have multiple. Okay, what we could again do is have another underpass on this side also. And what we could also do is we could now tie in one of these guys to this general direction. We'll have a bit of a look of that. And what we could of course do is, do we bring something out of here to tie in on this side, or do we have a closer by connection? We probably don't. And the question would be, do we actually run it up there, or do we bring it in a little closer? That's probably about right. Probably about right. I don't want to get it too close there. Because we're going to have to come back a pretty distance. So let's run this up here. If we do that, that's our loop. Actually, this is the wrong one. We need the inside, because we've got something probably joining on the outside here, and we've got another one joining in from over here. So the one that we won't have is that one. Do we have a connection that gets you? Just have a look. It puts you straight through here, so you can't actually come in from that side. So we do need a bit of a connection from over here, which is not ideal considering what we've got going on over here. Unless of course we do a bit of a loop. I think that's not bad. So the ideal situation is we kind of join it in here. If we do that, let's rejig this just a little bit. If I do, can we turn that a little bit more aggressively though? I think that might have given us a little bit more room. No. Alternatively, hang on, can we get out? Yeah, presumably that's even better, because this is going to be pretty busy, I would imagine. Let's actually run a dual through here. So we'll run one through there. Okay. Yes, I think that's about right. We'll get that one to come out over here. And then we'll see about tying that in. I'm trimming that back again and we'll retie that one in there. It's going to be a pretty easy curve, I think. Let's take it back all the way there and we'll tie it in from that side. We'll do that. And this one will do a nice easy curve that way. This is a little bit of a disaster though in terms of all the stuff. And then at this furthest point, I'm thinking we're gonna do I still need to make the change around, but then what I'll do is I'll actually do something like this. That is about the furthest point, but that's not quite where I would like it to be. I'd rather we do it right over here. So let's get rid of this guy. About there and then up to about there. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, what I'll do is I'll get rid of this massive loop so we can finish that one off. It's way more work than I thought. And I should know better by now. We'll tie that one in on this side. We'll tie that one in on that side. And we will tie this one in around here somewhere. So there's room for one train in there, no problems. And then I would just like to tie in one of these guys over here. Oh, and the one thing that I, of course, need to remember is that we need to get out as well. Okay, let's just tie this one in first. If we do that, tie that one in there, that's no problem. So now we can get in quite easily, and we'll probably need to get a crossover going. Nah, I think it's going to be fine. We don't need the crossover. What we do need is to be able to get out. So this guy could get out that way. This guy's getting in. Now the question, though, is how are we getting out over here? We could get out like this, if that'd work. That would work. So that would get us out this way. But it does, in fact, do crossovers. But that's okay. I think that's okay. We're going to have some crossovers. That gets us out this way, and it allows us to split on both directions. This one gets us in this way. And so presumably we don't need this because... But anyway, that just splits off some traffic for us. That's okay. We may have to add some extra stuff there as we go. What I would like to do is, since we've got that one in there, what I'd also like to do is just make sure we do a bit of a crossover on the other side. Again, we probably need a little bit more room. We do a crossover there and come on, crossover. There we go. So that should work. I'm probably going to pay for this, at least this section of it, the rail component of it. Look at that. Look at that. So there we go. That's it. There's a few bits and pieces that I wouldn't mind doing as part of this. And one of them is maybe connecting this road up here. And the other one is seeing how we're going to connect up over here. So I'm thinking we will need to extend that bridge across here. And then that's a massive amount of bridges for... Anyway, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe that's not the end of the world. Maybe what we'll do is we'll just run it across here and just do a bridge extension through there. Or do we, instead of coming through this very complex area, we run back up and come in through here somewhere? But yeah, that is pretty busy. So we'll have to see about getting maybe a bridge connection that loops us across. Where though? Where? This is an easier spot to put the bridge. It's going to be more sensible, but that's a little out of the way. Do we do something about that? I don't know. We'll have to see. Okay, let's get this. You know what, guys? I'm just going to pay for that. That's like 100 million rubles. I'm going to pay for that because it makes sense that we can get this done a little quicker. We'll see about building all the other stuff ourselves, though. But that's okay. So now that's in place. What I would like to do is run a road through here. Oh, and I also want to decorate this thing a little bit. Get that road. So we could presumably link up to these things. Let's see about tying that one back this way. Oh, and the one thing we, of course, also need is we'll need to... I'm pretty comfortable to run a bit of a road connection down there. There we go. That's good. And... just do that. That's fine. There we go, something like that. Now we've got some roads tied up over here. What I will do is let's run this one. Up there, and then I think we may in fact turn it. Kind of tempted to run a little bridge across here, at least. We'll just have that one crossing over there, but we'll run a little bridge across here. So if I'm not too sure I'll actually fit a bridge. So let's just see, can we How can we do a bridge? Okay, let's do... These are all curving bridges. And I'm pretty sure that's just what we want. We just want something pretty basic like that. So if we go up... Won't be able... we could... Yeah, we could do sections here, but I'd rather we actually do this. If I do that, and I do this, that should be okay. So now we've got a bit of a bridge connection running in through there. And ooh, that's not quite what I had in mind. So we'll eventually have to just do a staggered T like that as our connection on this side. And we could probably see about doing a little something else on this side also. I don't mind running a little bit of a road through here. And the question is, do we do a bit of a bridge connection on this side? It depends on whether you're just wanting access from the one side, though. Then these guys can turn around and come in this way. Could be that would actually work. Okay, well, let's see about something like that, and now we'll bridge on over. Okay, let's try and redo that section. Just like so, and what we'll do is we'll drop it back down, and then we'll just tie that one in. So there we go. Now we've got a bit of a road connection from the freeway here as well. That's good. But it only gets you in from the one side, but there is a turnaround over here that guys can use to get in. So that's okay. That's okay. We've got access from that side. People can get in from that side too. There we go. I'm going to pay for all of the road connections also. And yeah, then we can actually get started on construction. So now construction will get underway. Let's quickly switch that off. So one more thing. Yeah, that's okay. We'll provide the connectivity to this side a little bit later on. What I do want to do, however, is provide a fence around this thing. And what I also want to do, let's just get all of that built. That's a bit of a road connection up here. That's okay. I don't like that, but we might just leave it be. Okay, now all of that's done, right? All of that's done. Now construction can start in all urgency. Let's just quickly do the fence, and then we'll move on from there. So in terms of the fence, I was thinking fence. We probably need a fence gate at some point. But in terms of the fence, I was thinking this area is going to be fenced off. So we'll start off the fence a little bit like this, right? I think that's how I'm doing rail fences, just a little bit like that. And then from here, what we'll do is we'll go up here. Because I want to keep this all within the compound. This side, we could probably run the line a little bit more like that. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Something like this. I like it. And of course, let's run it straight up there, and then we'll run it all the way along the rail up to about here somewhere. At which point I'll do the rail, I'll do this on the other side again, and we'll just go it up to about that spot there. So this is kind of the secure zone. We'll probably, that's hugging this area quite a lot. And you know what? I think we should rather run it from this side. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it over there, and we're going to run it straight over here, and we'll see about our fence gate. Ooh, we've got some vehicles coming in, so that means construction is underway. Okay, so let's pause it just for a second so I can quickly do the fence gates. So fence gate around here somewhere. Okay, so we'll do a fence gate right there. I'll go ahead and pay for that. And we'll also do, now we've got a vehicle running through here. Let's just get that one to pass. And what we'll do is I'm also going to run a fence gate. I'm hoping that'll work though. Do these guys, yeah. How many vehicles are on the way? There's a ton underway. Okay, what we'll do is let's quickly do that old trick of just disconnecting it there. And what we'll do is we'll put our fence gate in this spot right there. Bit of a fence gate. Never get it as perfectly as the road connection was working. But this feels a little bit more natural. So let's just get that going. We'll go nuts and pay for that. Hopefully that is fixed before the guys get here. What we'll do is we'll tie that one in. This one will run all the way down here, fairly straight. Be there, and we'll tie it in over here, and we'll tie that one in over there. There we go. I'm going to pay for the fence, to be honest. It's not that expensive. Okay, good stuff. There we go. That's all done. Everybody's got their access points. Excellent. I'm loving it. This area is going to look awesome. Now, the one thing that I do want to do is actually do... I don't really do this, but under monument, we've got these airplane squares, gravel squares. I'd rather do the airplane squares, to be honest. And the intent is that I want to see how this thing looks. So if I line it up with my fence on, yeah, well, let's not do it on the fence. Let's do it through this section. Oh, I've got some. Line it up with that. Need to, yeah. So this, you want this to be. Yeah, there we go. That's the one. And what I'll do is I'll go up to about there, and we'll see how that looks. It's gonna look awesome. It's gonna look awesome. I'm sure of it. What I'll just make sure is we... Something like that. But we'll come back and have a look. I also want to do it for the entire stretch of this rail. Ooh. Let's do that. You can in fact see the rails on there, and that's effectively what we want to do. Now what I'm keen on doing is actually doing it in this direction. So if I go up here, that's not quite right. Something like that. Also not quite the right angle. And it need to move over this way to be more center. And then a little bit like this. Now, yeah, I think that's about right. We're on that angle. there. We'll do a very similar thing the rest of this. But that's a lot of construction underway. I'm going to do the roads, though. And up to about there, and then we'll figure it out still. But that's kind of the idea, that we're going to have all of this stuff in there. Okay, so let's unpause the game and let's start the construction works. This was all electrified wire. Yeah, it's just because that thing's not built and these aren't built. That's not actually connected up all the way through here. So there's a little section here that's not actually connected. That's good. Let's quickly go ahead and build some of these roads, please. Just want to make sure that we that all of our construction can in fact commence fairly easily. Yeah, this section, I just want to make sure we build all of the roads. I don't want these guys to be building the roads. That takes just so long. I'd rather they build all the other stuff. There we go, and there we go, and let's just finish off that. So now all of these roads should be constructed. All of our roads, right? All of our roads is now constructed. So these guys can now go nuts and do some work. So let's get our airlines or our construction vehicles to come in. And IC6 is a little bit farther away. Let's just assign these guys. Okay, and IC2, well, IC4, number 2. I'm also missing. Ooh, you know what? We don't have a road connection here. Where's our road? Oh, crap. Not quite what I had in mind. But what we'll do is we'll pull it back a little bit. And we'll fix that. There's always something you're missing, isn't it? I'm going to pull that guy back. What we'll do instead is we'll run the fence out from here. Like that. Well, let's leave that as a starting point. We'll run this guy straight, and then we'll see about tying that in, and that should give us enough room. So let's go ahead and pay for that. We'll get this guy to come on in directly from over here, to be honest, so you can get that guy up there and tie it in. There we go, and I'll pay for that as well. So hopefully we'll get a fair bit of construction starting fairly quickly over here. So let's speed things up a little bit, and we'll go and have a look at some of the other things. Want to make sure we've got at least the basics going on here with regards to signaling. I think that's necessarily too bad, but anyway, we'll get that one. We'll clear out that guy. That's good. That's crossing there. We need a little bit of work over here. Yeah, keep going on the work there. That's good. That's a good starting point at least. We just want to... see, this is all kinds of wrong. That chain there, we'll get rid of this guy. That's okay. This probably needs to be a chain then. That needs to be a chain too. We'll close it out on this side. That's pretty good. This one is in this general direction. I think that doesn't need too much work. Just want to make sure it does the trick here. Nice, nice, nice. This needs to probably do a bit of a chain piece of work here. I hope there's enough room for a train in there, though I doubt it. Go up here. Probably need a bit of a chain there, and what we'll do is we'll trim that one back, And we'll give it a little signal right over there. There we go. That should now all work without being too problematic. There's a lot of construction underway straight away, which I'm loving. The helicopters are inbound. There's those things that's being built. But I think this should be built pretty quickly, to be honest. And we'll see. We've got a fair bit of a room for other stuff as well. Now, we're going to need workers over here. None of this, in fact, needs workers. So what I thought we'd do is put of our worker facilities kind of things over here. So things like a fire station, even our distribution offices can go in here, I think, because from there they can go and we'll get a bit of a fuel station in this general area as well. So let's get a few bits and pieces going on. A gas station. I'm going to finish it off fairly soon now. What am I after? I'm after a pretty sizable one. How about this guy? In and out. Let's do this guy up here. It's actually whereabouts instead. Shall we do it in here though? Yeah, let's do that. That's a little out of the way. That's not the only access point. That'll work. That'll work. Now we would like a fire station. Just going to make sure we build the roads. There's already these guys running around over here. Now we want a bit of a fire station going on. Let's grab that. Something sizable. I don't want to lose stuff. Now, we need workers around here. So what I'm thinking is fire station probably needs to go in this location right over here, from where we can provide a bus station that goes to both sides, but we could also potentially do a heli facility. So let's do a fire station in that spot. Things are under construction quite nicely, I must say. And now we need some bus station style stuff. Let's go and get a modded passenger station, passenger platform / station. Here we go. This is the one. I'm thinking, not one of those. I'm thinking something like a medium size guy over here. Because if I do it there, it's pretty close by to all of the stuff. So if we do it in here, we could tie it into that section of road there. The large one goes two directions, but I'm not sure that's the one for us. The medium one seems to alternatively we can do the small one. The small one actually would actually work really well in this general location. Let's do the small bus station here. We're not going to need much more than that. So let's just bring it in like this. I think that's a good one. And we could still see about... Should still be able to have a room for a few things. Lots of vehicles arriving. I love it. I'm going to go ahead and again build the little road connections. Loving the fact that this is all working. Now, if I wanted to do the heli as well, let's quickly grab the heli. Over here, airplane parking. And we're going to end this episode soon. What am I after? I'm after a passenger heliport platform thingy. What we could do is I could have this one pop in right over here, and we should be able to have people walk the distance to the various spots. So I think that's going to be the other component here. So we'll do that. Everybody should have a spot to go to. Do that, and what I'll just make sure we do is just do a little bit of this. A little bit of that. Go nuts over there, and at the same time do that. So there we go. Now we've got a few paths going on here too. So if we do in fact bring in people to this side, it should be fine. But that's pretty much most of the stuff we need. Excellent, guys. That is going to do it for our episode. I am very happy I've decided to change it up a little bit. In the next episode, I'll have it all done. And then we will look at actually repurposing our distributions. There's one thing missing that I think we could do where. I want a depot. I want a rail depot. And I think that spot over there might be the right location for it. Can't do it anywhere else really. And this one, probably we don't need that piece of road. But anyway, that's okay. We'll get a rail depot because what I'm going to need to do is get the various vehicles to come over here to the depot, and then we'll reassign them. So I think that spot over here is probably the right one. Let's get that in place quickly. Then we'll quickly do a quick fly around to the other side. So vehicle depot, the train depot. We have it, yeah, train depot. So I want the long ones, the large rail depot. Updated. No idea what the difference is. So the way I see this is if we could do them over here, and then we could do multiple depots. Nah, I don't think we need multiple depots. We'll do it over here somewhere so that the guys, well, actually the closer we go over here is probably the better. So let's do a depot over there. I'm going to have to remove this again. Is that the right spot, or should we pull it in a little? If we do it there, it means it doesn't have to go all the way around to get in. Yeah, I think that's probably the right spot. So let's just connect our rails here quickly. Yeah, that'll have to do. I don't think we'll tie in more than that. Maybe one more? No, that's not going to work. No. Unless we tie it in. Nah. So 3 of them should be fine. We don't necessarily need any more than that. Now, tying it back in on this side, do we... It doesn't need to be an aggressive situation yet. Something like that should work. We'll be able to get in, get out. I think that should be fine. It's not going to be as bad. Let's pay for that. Let's make sure to get a bit of a chain going on over there. We'll make sure to get a chain. There we go. And of course, we'll need to just bring that one back to the other side also. Just a little something like that. Go ahead and pay for that as well. And should be able to clear it off over here, clear it off over there, and tie it in here and in there. There we go. So now all of that should kind of work. I do need to just get the fence around that also, but I think that's okay. That is okay. This is a fairly sizable. Oh, the other thing we needed to do was get some distribution office in there, but I'll do that in the next episode. I wanted to show you 1 or 2 quick things over here. I did do a fair bit of additional layouts over here, so there's a lot of construction going on in Suspendigrad over here, a bit of an expansion of this area so that we can continue to accommodate booming population growth. I've also purchased the blueprint for these guys, the IL-76, which I believe is the largest of the. There's another one being built. I believe it's the largest of the cargo planes. Yeah, it allows us to move a fair bit more, and that is in getting ready for doing cargo plane trips from Ultimagrad down here, which is all doing well, apart from the fact that we're probably running out of what? Now we're out of iron? Is there an iron train missing? Anyway, I need to fix that. I still needed to assign a couple of planes to it, or trains to it. What are you doing? Is that what you're waiting for? It's interesting to see that this is this working or not working. But anyway, I think that's going to be okay. We're missing iron over there. I need to have a look at what the issue is with that. But guys, that's going to be the end of this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Our new facility. How's our rail coming up over here? Slowly, to say the least. Our new facility, our new central hub. We'll call this the central hub. Let's rename it. Central hub. Yeah, just hub is going to be fine. Central hub. Okay, that's it. That is going to be it. Guys, thank you so much. See you next time. Bye-bye.